Hello, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a great night. So, I posted a react to all the Twitter peep stuff earlier, and I also posted a react to the wonderful reading by the lovely Neo Tarot. And now I'd like to finish off the night by doing a retro react. And considering the fact that Foodie is on a visa run, visa hop, I don't know if she's stuck somewhere. I don't know if she's going to be able to go back to Kuwait or ultimately she's got to go home. But after doing the react to Neo Tarot, it's inspired me to do this retro react. And why is that? Because during Neo Tarot's reading on Foodie, there was an emphasis on Chantal, you need to get in touch with who you really are. You've lost touch with yourself. You let go of yourself in favor of a persona on YouTube. You want to live in that costume, that persona, full time on YouTube. You gave it everything you had to the point where it literally became your identity. And food also became your identity. And that's really bad when the addiction becomes part of your identity. Like you and the addiction, the identity, it's a bad thing. So I wanted to sit down and do this retro react because there's a chance that Chantal might be going home. And if she goes home, there's a very large chance that when she gets back to Canada, if she goes back there, she's going to be surrounded by all of her vices, every single one of them, the edibles, the party favors, the food. If her world is turned upside down, where she has to let go of Salah and Julia, she's going to dive headfirst into her vices, and it's not going to be a good thing. But a long time ago, when Chantal was doing content, in the beginning, she wasn't as over the top as she is now. There were moments of clarity. There was moments of honesty with oneself that don't exist anymore. And that's what I really want to react to. Those brief moments of honesty when she was just acting like a somewhat normal person. And she wasn't just trying to be a complete train wreck on purpose to get people's attention and to make money on YouTube. So the react I'm doing tonight, I would like to give a shout out and to credit to two channels because I'm going to be reacting to their videos. The first video is from a channel called What's Happening, and the second one is from a channel called KOTARA. And thank you to both channels. Thank you so much for posting the clips that you did, because there was one clip in particular I was looking for, and KOTARA has the clip. It is spliced up, and it has to do with a moment that Chantal was in her car, and she was speaking a bit honestly about her issue with food. But unfortunately, even though those brief moments of clarity and honesty were there, she didn't act on those moments of self-reflection. She decided to lean into the problem and let the problem get worse versus fixing it. And her problem with food started well before YouTube. When she got on YouTube, though, she found a way to make her lies and her food addiction profitable. And so the more money she made, the more subscribers she got, the more attention she got, the more she leaned into it. And here we are, 2025. She's leaned all the way into it. She's very, very sick, and she just needs to go home and fix herself. So I'm going to start off with a react to, let's see if I am where I need to be. We're going to start off with What's Happening. We're going to start off with that. All right. So a little bit of backstory, a little bit of context for those who were not around during this time. When was this clip taken? What's going on here? This is after she and her ex-boyfriend BB broke up. Someone that she was with for quite a while. She and BB were together. They broke up. They fell out of love with each other. And the tipping point, I believe, for BB was Chantal cheated on him. Like, he was a very good, hardworking man, and she did him dirty, and he just felt like he didn't want to put up with it, nor should he. So he kicked her to the curb. And she's going to be talking about the breakup and moving in with Pete's and the cats. And so that's where this clip comes from. So just a little bit of backstory on that. So to give you an idea of like what's going on here. So here is Chantal. Again, a little bit more context. Right about this time, Chantal was floating in the 400-pound range. There's another clip that I'm not including it. I can include it later if you guys want in another react. But she was at the new apartment with Pete's. She got on the scale, and the scale read 399 pounds. Like, she was almost 400 then. She's gained a lot since then. But as you can see, this was Chantal. She still had the skin smoothing filter. She wasn't doing the extreme filter. But you know what? I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to let Chantal talk. So I hope you guys enjoyed this retro react. And if you do, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. I really appreciate it. You don't have to, you don't want to. But let's check in with Chantal of the past and let her have her thoughts about her eating issue and other things.
So I'm actually going to make a physical list of things that I want to tackle in therapy. So some of the things that I really need to tackle obviously are just behavioral changes, my eating disorder, food addiction, anger, depression, past trauma, grief with the hysterectomy, this breakup, these life changes, just everything.
So here she is confessing she's got all these issues. She is not without her awareness. Like, she just went through like a whole checklist of things that she is aware of. Like, there is self-awareness going on here. Like, I got this problem, this one, and this one. And any one, just one of those is a lot to deal with. And she's got several going on at the same time. So she can't claim ignorance and say, I am not aware that I had this problem or this one or this one. She knows there are things wrong with her. And she could have sought out treatment for all of those things and gotten the ball rolling. But she chose not to. She chose to let the problems fester and become worse and make her worse. And here we are, years later. All those problems are still a problem.
Adulting, stress of life, just somebody to give me their professional opinion on some direction, anything, So I'm going to be doing that. I'm reconsidering OA. I'm just not a big fan of a 12-step program, but I'm willing to give it another chance and try to look at it at a different angle. It might be the super religious aspect of it.
Okay, now I have a problem with that, because I have a friend, a male friend, like he's now a sponsor, but he went through AA, very dear friend, very good friend. And he never mentioned any kind of religious aspect to that. I don't think religion or believing in a certain system of things has anything to do with that. That might be just an excuse that Chantal is putting up in front of people as a reason why she's not doing it. But let's just say she's telling the truth, which I don't believe because she's a big old liar. But if she encounters one group that there is a religious aspect, I'm sure there are other groups that could have helped her where that was not involved. This is just her putting up a lame excuse defense of why she's not doing something. Like, this is her just saying, I should be doing this, but I'm not doing it, and I'm giving a false reason why, because I really don't want to. I don't want to address myself. I don't want to fix myself. This is her being in denial of what's wrong with herself.
I just don't get. So there's that. So I have an appointment booked for Monday with the therapist, which it's Wednesday, so it's not too far off. I also am doing a reboot with the weight loss doctor I had that meal plan with. And I think that I definitely need to follow some kind of guidance and structure. And I think if I go see this doctor once a week, then I have that support. A lot of people were wondering, I think I've just seen some comments floating around somewhere. I need to stay out of comments, where it was like all these, larger YouTubers who claim to have binge eating disorder, never been diagnosed. I've actually been diagnosed.
And again, this was years ago. Actually, even before YouTube, she was diagnosed. And people told her, you have this issue with food. So even before her time on YouTube, she was well aware of the fact that her problem with food was out of control. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be fixed. She has chosen all of this time not to fix it. She made that choice. And I've been watching her for years. And I'm saying this with no hate, absolutely none. I'm just giving an observation. I have never seen her struggle, truly struggle with her issue with food. I have never seen any sign that it disturbs her and she's fighting against it and she's got that inner battle going on. Like, I've never seen a moment where she was having a B moment with food and then afterwards she's mad and saying to herself, why did I do this? Oh my God, like, because if you're fighting against it, it will upset you that you gave into something and you're going out of control with something. And there's that inner battle of like, I don't want to do this. I don't know how to stop, but I don't want to do this. I have never seen her struggle like that. The only struggle that I've seen for Chantal, the only struggle with her is just the opposite. Her struggling to eat more food. Like, she gets mad because her stomach can only hold so much. Like, she just wants to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. And she gets mad when her stomach is absolutely stretched out tight and she can't fit another bite in. Her trying to come up with little ways to put more food in. Like, one of the reasons why I started reacting to Chantal is because of my own issues with food. I had BED. I had it. I'm in recovery now. I understand that food is not my friend, that it's not an emotional thing. It gives you fuel. It can taste good. You don't live to eat. You eat to live. You got to give food the respect it deserves. You can't use it for any other thing other than what it's intended for. It's not your friend. It is not something you should use to call back to happier times. It's not something you should use to calm yourself when you're upset, when you're angry. It's just something on a plate, but it's nothing more than that. But she's always put emotional anchors on food. And if you're trying to fix a problem with food, you got to take them all off. Her emotional anchors are so big and so strong, she literally treats food like an actual person. Anybody remember the fast food funerals? You don't give funerals to fast food. Funerals apply to people. Like, the thought of giving up fast food fills her with grief, sadness, upset, stress, emotional anchors. That's how deep down the hole she is. So 5 years ago, she's having these issues. She's doing all these backflips. I'm going to do this, this, and this. She talks about what she's going to do, but that's as far as it goes. It goes no further. Why? Because she's not truly fighting. She's not truly struggling. She doesn't want to. And she especially did not want to when she figured out that she could make money on YouTube just indulging. She thought she was being clever. I'm going to get on YouTube. There's this mukbang trend. I'm going to hop on the backside of that and ride it all the way to the bank. Did she make money? Yes, she did. She did well. She did very well, but at the expense of her health. And anybody who's alive knows that health is wealth. And she sold all of her health down the river, every single piece of it. And now she doesn't have any of it left for her.
I see a doctor at an eating disorder clinic, and I have been formally diagnosed. Thank you very much. Not that I want to be, I'm just clarifying that. So I'm also restarting that program at the Ways Loss Clinic on Monday. In the meantime, I have my booklet still I can refer to and try to eat with that accordingly, write down what I'm eating, bring it to my session. So I'm feeling positive about those things. I don't give it a chance. I just kind of veer off and go, like, give into my old ways, my old habits.
Can I just add this in really quick? The only time Chantal cares about her weight and starts talking about a health journey or losing weight is if she's around a person, say BB or somebody else, somebody that she's interested in. And her eating is out of control. And there's some nonsense that happens. And that person is about ready to walk away. That's when she suddenly wants to make a change. Oh, I'll do better. I'll lose weight. I'll take care of myself. For those who weren't around during these times, that you're not aware of this, when Chantal was with BB, couple of things about that. First thing you should know, Chantal, even though BB was her partner, they were living together, they were serious. She hid her food problem from BB when she should have told him. If she cared about him and she planned on spending the rest of her life with this man, he should have been let know about this problem so maybe it could be solved. But she hid it from him. She was hiding pizza boxes in the closet. Like her hiding food all over the place caused a roach infestation in the house. Second thing you should know. There was one occasion where she ate so much cheese, it put her in the emergency room. And for those who also don't know, she doesn't have a gallbladder. She shouldn't be eating cheese. And yet that's her favorite thing to eat. So let's fast forward a little bit. She's with Salah right now. The only time she cares about her weight is when Salah's about had enough of her nonsense. Like her addiction affects him. So I'm sure like when he's about ready to walk away from her, that's when she's like, I'll take care of myself. I'll lose weight, blah, 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 blah. Like she throws that out there as like a last resort. So it's not about her caring about her health and wanting to do better for herself. It's a desperation move. I'm desperate to hang on to somebody. I know that my weight is a problem. I know that my addiction is a problem. But the only time I care about it is if I'm going to lose some guy in my life that's about ready to walk away from me because they can't take anymore. That's when she suddenly cares. And unfortunately, she doesn't care very long. She'll act like she cares for a while, and then she just abandons that path. She doesn't seek out people and things to help her continue on that path.
Give into my addiction every time. So I think I really want to see what would happen if I just give it even 30 days. And obviously I plan on doing it forever, but I just want to just take it a chunk of time at a time and start with, okay, I'm going to do this for a full 30 days. I'm going to work this doctor's program for a full 30 days and see what happens. So I know I change the content on my channel a lot. I'm so torn on whether I was so torn on whether, like I said, I would feel this way one minute and then the next I'm like, okay, mukbangs, Mukbangs are easier to do. They give me
Confession. Mukbangs are just easier to do. It's easy, lazy content. And this is not the first time she said this. This is not the first time at all. She has said this many times over the years. I do it because it's easy. It's an easy way to make money. I could just go buy some fast food, turn on the camera, record the content, put it on YouTube, and people will watch it. That's why she does it. It's an easy money maker for her. And now, after so many years, it's what she's known for. She knows her audience. She knows that there are lots of feedies in her audience, and that is on purpose. She wanted to attract those people with money to give her money on YouTube and off. That's what she was gunning for. To turn her channel into a fetish channel and make money with that fetish and other fetishes as well.
an excuse to eat like crap. They're more lucrative in a way, but like, mukbang's worth my health? Like, are they worth my health, my life? Like, you only get one body, you only get one life. Like, and I'm totally doing that, like deteriorating my health for money and for views, or you know what I mean? Like, the long sigh. So no, it's not worth it. In the end, it's not worth it because health is priceless, you know?
You're right. It is. It is priceless, but you put a price on it. With every video you've done, with every live you've done, you literally put a price on your life. You put a price tag on your health. And every time you do private content for the feedies, you're putting a price tag on it. You're literally selling yourself, your body, down the river to whoever wants to pay for it. You decided to farm yourself out that way.
So I think even though it's more fun to sit here and talk about farts and TMIs and eat delicious food, I don't feel good. Like, I don't feel good. And
so again, this was a few years ago. Like, when was the date? When was this put? It was a year ago, but this is more than a year old. Imagine how she feels now. This was Chantal back when she wasn't as heavy, when she wasn't eating as much food. And she's confessing, I don't feel good. It makes me feel sick. Imagine how she feels now, eating much more food, nonstop. Nonstop. Like, she's getting money hungry. I got to do all these mukbangs for YouTube. I got to do all this stuff for the feedies off of YouTube. Your body can't handle it, Chantal. That's why lately you're coming on camera and saying your stomach is upset. You're feeling sick. And knowing the amount of food that you can put away, if you're feeling sick, either you're going crazy with the food or your body's just worn out. Maybe both. You can't keep on like this.
and I can't keep going that way.
No.
You know, I think I'm going to really just try to focus on these 30 days. And I hope that you guys will join me. Everything that's happening with this breakup, which I'm still having a hard time dealing with because being alone is going to be really hard on me. I'm very dependent emotionally, and I'm going to be trying to be completely independent because I don't want to move from here back in with Pete and be dependent on him.
Well, that kind of happened. You were dependent on Pete's. You treated him like a doormat, but you were dependent on Pete's to do all kinds of things for you. Chantal, you have a history. Like, I don't think I've ever heard of any time period where you lived by yourself, just yourself, taking care of yourself, been truly independent. You're talking about being independent at the same time The only reason why you got into the Canadian villa in the first place was because of Pete's. Because at this time period, you had a bankruptcy on your record. So it may be harder for you to find a place to rent. Hence the reason why you latched on to Pete's in the first place, because at that time, he had good credit. He was making money. He had a job. He looked better on paper than you. He put his name on the dotted line. You never had your name on the dotted line. He was looking at places in his price range. He was trying to keep it simple and comfortable. But you being who you are, you wanted someplace really nice. So the agreement was that you guys would move in together. His name would be on the lease. You would pay the bills and the rent. And that's how it was. But you were not independent when you lived with Pete's. You were still very much dependent on him. You're a very codependent kind of person. You need a man around at all times. You don't know what to do with yourself if you had to be by yourself. And now you're at a place health-wise where you literally need to live with somebody, because what if something happened to you? Like, you're in such bad health, you need someone around just in case something happens.
Financially, everything. I've already talked to him. He knows my struggles. He realizes it more now because I've opened up to him a lot more about it than when we were living together. So he won't be fetching me junk.
Pete!
He won't be lenient. I'm going to be paying my half of everything.
What? He's not going to be lenient. Pizza's too passive to be dominant over you, tell you what to do. Anybody that's ever seen Pete's, listened to Pete's, and then listened to you, they know who the more dominant, bossy, arrogant person is of the two of you, and it ain't him. It's you. You're trying to paint this picture of Pete's is going to tell you what to do. Since when? As if anybody could manage that.
Everything. I don't want to do that to him. I have been more financially dependent on him in the past.
Confession. That was a confession. Even when she was with BB, she took Pete's money. She would get money from Pete's, her ex-fiance, her ex-boyfriend. She put him in debt. He still kept giving her money. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. But still using Pete's, even when she was with another relationship with another man.
But now I just want to be completely independent. And that's a big, big change, But I think it needs to happen. Like, it really needs to happen. So there's a lot of growing up to do here, growing as a person too, just like, it's tough. So I'm going to try to just, like I said, I'm back at the drawing board today, doing these meal plans with this doctor's plan, and just, I guess, back to thinking of content to do that's not really food-based, other than showing you guys what I eat in a day for accountability, or for just showing you that I'm working the plan, or different meal ideas, but healthy. But just eating on camera, I think I understand.
There's a reason why I'm showing this clip. Do you guys know why I'm showing you guys this clip? For anybody who might be a subscriber to Chantal, for anybody who might be a Beezer, it's important that you kind of see this so you understand, you get it, that this whole merry-go-round, this whole Ferris wheel, this whole roller coaster of like her talking in circles and living in circles and going round and round and round, this has been going on a long time. Like, she's a talker, is Chantal. She talks, but she does not do. That's the problem. She doesn't do the follow through. She does not do. And it's not because she doesn't have the resources. It's not because she doesn't have the time. She just does not do. It's easy to talk about something, but it's much more difficult to put the plan in action. So for those of you on her channel that you've been hanging on by your fingernails, hoping, wishing for Chantal to get better, you believe her BS about I'm going to get better. I mean it this time, guys. I really, really mean it. Not going to happen. It is not going to happen until she has that breakthrough moment where the ego, the vanity, the narcissism, it all comes crashing all the way down. When she has that moment where she's got to face herself and she can't use her pride as a defense. Chantal does mukbangs. She's going to eat a lot of food. Nobody's going to argue that point, but let me tell you something. For all the food that Chantal can eat in a day, there's one thing that she absolutely will not eat. There's one thing she won't swallow: her pride. She just can't get it in her mouth. She can't put it down her throat. She can't chew it up. She can't swallow it. It would do her good if she did. It would do her a lot of good, but she won't. She'll eat everything in the world except that. Like this whole cycle of her just talking about these are my problems and I'm going to do this. No follow through. You know what happens when you don't follow through on what you say? You're stuck on the same hamster wheel of your own design. And so she has been. So for anyone on her side of the fence who's not a Foodie, like you're just hanging in there because you like her and you're hoping for positive change, it's not going to happen until she gets real with herself.
That, and I know I've said this before, but I think it's a destructive behavior for me. So I think doing different things with my channel, like actual vlogs, and like using those resources I have for mukbangs on maybe doing like travel and exploring the city, doing different things. I think that will be just healthier in general too for me. So yeah, anyway, I know the key to not going into a deep depression when I move out is keeping our place really clean, organized.
Well, that didn't happen. Her place became a pigsty and a half. It was nasty. I'm not even exaggerating when I say the word nasty. For anybody who didn't see the villa back in Crackhead Olympics, count yourselves lucky. It was putrid. Fruit flies everywhere all the time. Food rotting in the fridge. Moldy pots. Oh my God. The moldy blue pot. Mold growing inside of a pot sitting in her living room. It was nasty. Mummified food. A KFC drawer. Garbage 3 feet thick on her bedroom floor to the point where she couldn't walk a straight line from her bedroom door to her computer desk. It was bad. Bags of garbage stacked on the balcony that Pete's never took out. Litter boxes that never got changed. Cat food all over the floor. It was bad. It was real bad. So she failed with keeping the place clean.
It's going to be a fresh start, fresh apartment, top floor, so hopefully there won't be too many bugs. I don't think there's bugs, but and just getting up every day and sticking to a routine of taking care of myself. This is going to be a time of finding me, and I'm excited to bring you guys that on that journey with me.
And you know what the sad thing is, Chantal? You made this video saying it's a time where I can find myself. What happened? You lost yourself. You lost yourself. You were with BB, and here's just my take. If you're around a guy that you like or you're involved with, having that guy around, it's kind of an influence where you behave a little bit because of that man being around. But after BB kicked you out, kicked you to the curb, there was no control point. There was nothing holding you back, and you lost all control. It just right out the window. Like you become a little bit self-aware when there's a man around. Like especially if there's a man around, they're hardworking, they're clean, then of course you're going to behave in front of that man. You're aware of being dirty or messy. You won't let it get out of control. But if you're around a man like Pete's, that he's not going to reprimand you or call you on the carpet and take you to task for being filthy, you're just going to let go. And you did. Oh boy, did you do all that. Like you only are clean and well behaved, sort of, when you're around a guy. Alone, you don't care.
I'm like an F5 tornado. I've done a lot of destruction
Yep.
in my past, and even up till now, in my life and the life of others around me. And that's how I feel anyway. And I think that's what scares me about OA too, is like you have to like face those things and in therapy, and it just makes me sick. Like it just makes me sick to think that I have to do that.
Why? Look, I know that therapy is hard. It's not supposed to be easy. If you've got issues and you got to go to therapy, like you're going to be uncomfortable facing yourself, facing the things you've done, facing the harm that you might have done to others. Yeah, it's hard. It's not supposed to be easy to face oneself, but it's beneficial. It is rewarding because it means you're growing as a person, you're getting better. And you've been running for years from all the stuff that you've done, all the people you've hurt. You don't want to deal with it. You don't want to admit the awful that you've done. You've never felt sorry. You've never felt truly remorseful or regretful. Your shield to that moment is hiding behind it and acting like, I'm not sorry, I don't care. And you go on with your destruction.
So, but I think I will give it another try, because the benefits of OA is that you build, you're with a community of people who are going through what you're going through. And food addiction, eating disorders can be very lonely. Like, I'm like that type of person though, like even though I have problems sticking to things, but I wanted to get on the ball because I was like, yesterday I think was a huge eye opener for me. Like the walk to the apartment was like a big thing. It made me feel so ashamed and bad about myself. Like I can't even walk to the next like building, you know?
And this was back when she was about 100, 150 pounds lighter. And just walking, doing the tours and looking at apartments, she was having problems then. Imagine what she's going through right now.
That was horrible. That was horrible. It was embarrassing. And I wasn't mean to the real estate lady. Actually, I told Pete about that, and he was like, no, you were fine. I was really apologetic and I was really polite, but I guess in my own mind, I thought I was being mean. Not mean, but like, kind of like, but she was talking and all I could focus on was my pain. Like I could barely hear what she was talking about. So I guess I was just like, yeah, okay, yeah, you know, but I guess didn't do it in a mean tone, which I'm not a generally mean person, you know.
I beg to differ, but go right ahead. Keep going.
But I do have anger issues for sure. So anyway, once the nice weather comes in, it's going to be different because I find like, it's like,
you know what, Chantal, I think you're a mean person, but to make yourself feel better, you tell yourself, I'm not a mean person. You do mean things. You say mean things, but in your head, you justify it and say, I'm not being mean. I'm not being hurtful, when you are.
It's like freezing. It's freezing and dark and just depressing, you know. I know I said, you know, a lot of people were saying I should go live with my Aunt Jamaica or my mom. If I didn't have cats, it would be a different story. I'm not leaving my cats because I don't want to do that to them, but also I miss them so much. You don't want to go to the store. Like I can't even, you know, there's no way. I would be so heartbroken.
Boy, how far we've come, huh? How far we have come. So you went from a place of I really love my cats, I care about my cats, to where are we now? How funny things change, huh? How quickly things change. So she's about to move in with Pete's. And she's saying here, I really love my cats. I can't leave them behind. And then when she moved in with Pete, her attitude completely changed. And I feel the shift happened right about the time she started seeing Natter. You want to know why? Because Chantal, if she's around a person, whatever they like, she likes. Whatever they hate, she hates. So if the person in question is not an animal lover, then she's going to adapt part of their likes and personality to herself in order to be more like them and to be accepted by them. So since Natter really wasn't a cat person, wasn't wild about the cats, suddenly she decided, I don't like the cats either. I'm going to be completely neglectful. I'm not going to feed them when I should. I'm not going to take care of the litter boxes. I'm not going to take them to the vet. That's when the neglect really became bad. All over a guy. And more than once, she talked about getting rid of the cats. That happened multiple times. Again, because of Natter. She wanted to be with Natter. And she didn't care what she had to give up or sacrifice. She really, really wanted to be with him because she was so desperate to be with that man. And if she wanted to do things the right way, if she was in a place where she's like, I can't take care of the cats or I'm no longer interested, there would be a good way to make that happen. If she said to herself, I can't take care of them physically, or I'm just not feeling it anymore, the best way to go about it is to find caring people that will take them on. But she didn't do that. And trust me, there were a lot of Beezers back in the day that were coming to Chantal saying, if you don't want BBJ and Sam, I'll take them. No questions asked. I'll take them off your hands. Every single offer she refused. She didn't want the cats, but she also didn't want somebody else having them. Because that's her mentality. I don't want it, but I don't want somebody else to have it. So I'll keep it with me and make it suffer before I give it to somebody else.
Without my babies. Like, I can't. They're my babies. They're the only babies I'm going to have.
All right, is this like the song? Okay, this is a song. We're going to cut this one off here because it's just a song. But that was courtesy of the channel. What's happening. And again, I'll be linking the original video in the description if you want to check out all the stuff on what's happening's channel. So now we're going to move into another video, which kind of goes around, like it goes with the first one. And there's different clips here. And you guys can take a look. This one was 5 years ago. And this is Chantal just being out of control. And it does contain the clips that I was looking for, where she was talking about her eating issue in the car. So she was out of control back then, and she could have stopped it, and she didn't. She chose not to. She chose to lean into the issue and monetize it and hurt herself. Her choice. But thank you, KUMI KOTARA, for putting this out, and let's get going.
Questions I guess you guys have, or the concerns. I thought I explained it. Yes, I was sharing my weight loss journey with you guys, but if I'm just being honest, what it comes down to is I just plain and simple don't want to do a weight loss journey.
Oh, there's music.
Guys, I probably am.
Okay, let's back up a bit. Sorry about that.
At this point, because I know I probably look absolutely insane, and you know what? I probably am. I probably am. In my opinion, weight loss journey on YouTube is bullshit.
And she's flip-flopped on the whole weight loss thing. One minute she's saying, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get healthy. And the next minute, she's cursing people out in her chat if they talk about losing weight. Anybody that's ever heard about the Cuba bees? Oh, that's infamous for a reason, because she was having full-on meltdowns left and right. But one of the things that she did during the Cuba bees, during the live streams that she did, was she was cursing people out for losing weight and going to get weight loss surgery. Telling people they should go eat carbs and all this stuff.
Unless you are like obese to beast and you've lost an immense amount of weight.
And let's stop right here because I want to show this. So these videos that you're seeing, this is the early part of her channel. Her videos were getting a lot of views. Her views are not so great now.
The fact to me that while you're doing the journey and people only thumbs up or give you support or like you or think you're a good person, if you lose weight, and then whenever you don't, then people call you a failure, call you a bitch.
Can I just go on record as to saying, there's lots of people who go on a weight loss journey, and there might be some troubles. There might be some pitfalls along the way. There might be some setbacks. Because even people who are on a weight loss journey, they're trying to do everything right, you might hit a peak where you're doing everything you can do and the weight is still not coming off. And so you have to figure out, like, what is going on here? Like maybe you're getting down to that last stubborn 20 pounds that doesn't want to come off. And you're like, what is wrong here? Like you're getting frustrated. You're like, I'm doing this and this and this, and it's not coming. I don't get it. Like why people have had a problem with Chantal is that she comes online and she puts it out there. I'm on a weight loss journey. I'm caring about my health. And so people get behind her and say, you got this, Chantal. You got this. And the next thing you know, like she's doing a mukbang. And it feels like she lied, like she was being dishonest. People don't have a problem with people who are on a weight loss journey and they stumble. What they do have a problem with is somebody who is lying to them. It's the lies that people don't like, the deception. Nobody likes to be deceived. No one likes to be in front of a liar and feel like they're getting lied to. That's all.
Sorry, but where's the appeal? I mean, say you should delete your channel.
All in favor, say aye.
Say you're a piece of shit. Tell you to kill yourself.
Bring me receipts.
This is my life, okay? I'm gonna live it how I want to live it. So, well, I don't know what the hell I was thinking that I could be a food addict. I think that a part of me, a lot of the times, still in denial about having an eating disorder. If I'm telling you,
as far as her issue with food, what she says depends on who she's in front of. Like in whatever mood she's in and whatever angle she wants to take. Like if she's waking up in the morning and she decides, I really want to lean into the food issue and I really want to turn on the feedies and get them excited, then I'm going to lean into the issue and I'm going to talk about it in a positive way. Or I'm going to get defensive and then just tell people, I'll eat what I want. Shut up. Literally shut up. I don't want to hear it. Then again, the very next day, if she feels like I want to get sympathy out of the audience, then I'm going to talk about it this way. I'm going to make a big issue out of it and cry and do the sad face. And it's all about like, what angle does she want to take today? What strings does she want to pull on for whatever emotion that she wants to pull out of her audience? Is it sadness? Is it sympathy? Is it, I just want to cater to the feedies today? She likes to see what emotional response she can elicit out of people. She's manipulative with what's wrong with her. And she uses what's wrong with her to manipulate people.
Let's just say I don't want to lose weight. Let's just say I didn't want to. My choice, you know? You are more disappointed about this than I am, and this is my life. So it's like, for me, I don't understand that type of response, other than I think it's just people who are just waiting to hate, because
No. If you're getting on camera, Chantal, and you're making videos or lives, and you're saying to people, I have these health problems, I'm not feeling well, I had this food issue. If there are people in your audience that care for you, if there are subscribers that care for you, when you care about somebody, you want the best for them. You want them to feel their best. And everybody knows if you've got good health, more than likely you're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to feel good in general. So maybe those people that are feeling a bit disappointed and say so, maybe they're just feeling a bit sad because they're like, you're telling us about all these things that are wrong, and we just want you to get better. And if your weight is a problem, if your food issue is a problem, we're just hoping that you fix it so that when you do content, you're a happier person, you're a more stable person, and you can present that in your content. Like how you feel about yourself is reflected in the videos and the lives that you do. And that's what matters.
people who, I mean, I you know, like if somebody wants to diet or not has no bearing on me. I don't give a shit. Well, I think I told you guys when I went to see the diet doctor, the weight loss doctor, he did a consultation with me, a good hour, and he was like, "Oh, you have an eating disorder." Like he was, you know.
Well, you didn't need the doctor to tell you that because you did previous videos, early videos, where you told story times where this eating issue was present during your teens, Chantal, that you went to a clinic or something for that. So you knew even before YouTube that this was a problem.
And he's like, I want to refer you to the eating disorder clinic. And when I told him that my GP already did that, that's when he was like, okay, that's good. And he wanted to prescribe me something in the meantime to get the edge off. So I don't really, you know, if I'm watching somebody and, you know, like I started my channel as a mukbang channel. I didn't start as a weight loss channel. I was doing mukbangs longer than weight loss. And so for me, I basically just want to eat and talk about farts. That's what I want to do. And it's not about views because I get less views on mukbangs than I do weight loss stuff.
Lies. She got the most views on her mukbangs. And then she decided to mix up the mukbang content with the obvious Foodie content with later on adding in overblown drama. She put it all together. Chantal is all about her analytics and her money, and she pays attention to what lives and what videos make the most money. Very, very on top of that is Chantal. Very on top of that. And then by doing the mukbang content, she was attracting the feedies. They were contacting her. During her time at the Canadian Villa, I could think of many instances where the feedies were present. Let's see, off the top of my head, there was the Lakma Ferry. Some feedies sent her like a whole box of Lakmas coated in chocolate. There were other incidents where she gave out her address and the feedies were sending her clothes, all that stuff. There was another feedie that this one was very particular. He had a very unique request with her doing mukbangs. If anybody remembers this particular feedie, he did not like the sound of a metal fork or spoon hitting the plate when she ate. So he sent her a big wooden spoon and a big wooden fork. And she used that for quite a few mukbangs. So even all the way back then, she was catering to them. Like she was getting started with that. She was making money off those feedies. Yes, ma'am.
if you really, sure, some of my mukbang videos have 120,000 views, but that's over like a year. So I get like 10,000 views on a mukbang if I'm lucky. And that's why I wanted to go to the hospital and tell them, look, I'm eating myself to death, you know, sometimes more, but I enjoy it. I think it's fun. That's what I started doing. That's what I liked doing. So, and I watched my 600-pound life last night. Today's Sunday, but I watched it only last night. I know it comes out on Wednesdays. And Kelly is the person that was in that, and you know, God rest her soul, but unfortunately her heart gave out and she passed away. And I think that is just, that episode serves as such a wake-up call.
It should have been a wake-up call for you. If you saw that episode and you saw what happened to that poor woman and you're watching 600-Pound Life, you are remarking about this all the way back then, 5 years ago. And Chantal, where are you now? Like, I don't know your exact weight, but I'm going to take a guess based on your video clips. You're over 500 pounds. I would say easily you're 550. So you're real close to 600 and you're 5 feet tall. Your average weight, your healthy weight should be, I believe, about 100, maybe 120. You're hundreds and hundreds of pounds overweight, and your frame, your skeleton can't support that much weight. You're carrying 3 to 4 times what you should on your body, and it is hurting your body. What are you doing?
I know you're going to think I'm full of shit, but a lot of you think that anyway, so I may as well just say what I'm going to say. I have a method to my madness. I'm not going to just carelessly eat and eat and eat. I'm actually being responsible about it this time.
How in the world can you be responsible if you have a food addiction? Where is the responsibility? Like, if the addiction is ongoing, if it's active, if it's raging, and you're letting it be that way, and you're getting on camera, and you just said you like doing that kind of content, it's fun, it's easy. Where does responsibility come in? Being responsible means you recognize you got a problem and you treat the problem so it's not consuming you. It is not ruling your life. It's not telling you what to do. It's been years, Chantal. Where'd the responsibility go?
I mean, I was bawling at the end of that episode. She was doing so well, and sometimes it's just too late. Sometimes it's too late to turn your life around. Sometimes there's no going back. You've done too much damage to your body already, and it's just too late. So I know that people think you can't lose weight doing mukbangs, but if I'm counting calories and I'm not binging, which...
That's another thing she does. She likes to minimize things, even in words, even in thoughts. If I think of something this way, if I bring up a thought or a word that is not as bad as the real word, then that means it's not as bad. If I call B moments beezing, and by switching the words, she's avoiding looking at things as how they really are. Like, she's minimizing it. You can minimize things in thought, Chantal, but that's not going to make the problem go away, nor does it make the problem less dangerous for your health. It's not going to do it. You can dumb things down, you can water things down, but the effects of what you do remain on your body.
I haven't been binging, actually. So,
ma'am, you can sit there and call it B moments. You can call it beezing. You can call it overeating. The result is still the same. You're still eating way too much, way too often, which leads to more weight, which leads to more health problems, which leads to high blood sugar, which leads to your diabetes out of control. Words ain't got nothing to do with it. A problem is a problem, and all problems are meant to be solved.
With that being said,
They're not meant to be monetized. They're meant to be solved.
And I just got back from a major binge. So I don't know if it's the medication or it's the reading the brain over binge or just really just learning more about the disorder and just getting a better grip on it. I think it's just different now, you know? So not good. So I have no control. Like, I just don't. You know, you have a right to your opinions and everything, but it is what it is, you know? Like, people are going to be disappointed, and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm going to do, and that's my explanation.
Like, I love this video because it's showing the back and forth with her. Like, I'm going to do something. I can do it my way. I know how to do it. But then flipping back and forth to the other Chantal. Like, this is Jekyll and Hyde. It's crazy.
My depression is really bad. It's not better since being on this medication. I thought it would be. I don't know if it just hasn't kicked in yet. I have been taking it every night. It does make me tired and like sleep better, like I said, but at the same time, I still feel maybe I need to be on different medication. I don't know.
You know, I've never been on depression medication, but I've heard you have to take it consistently for a while for it to start working. It's not something that's immediate. You got to take it for a while regularly for it to get in your system and start doing some good.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else to say about that. I don't know. People, you can't bully me into doing something that I don't want to do. You know, like, I'm just not. People, okay, I guess I'll answer the question that, you know, people are wondering what happened. I was so enthusiastic about the diet. So my problem with the mukbangs is, for me as a food addict, because most people who do them are probably not, they're not food addicts like I am, or have an eating disorder.
Right. So that's the difference. There are people on YouTube that don't have a disorder with food. They don't have a food addiction. They're not addicted to food. So they can do a mukbang, they can do a video and eat a bunch of food or whatever food. And then after the video is over, they can go work out, they can go take care of their health. They're not sitting there thinking about food 24/7 and obsessing over food and talking about food the way that you do. Hence the reason why you can't do mukbangs. You just can't. You shouldn't have been.
Whenever I first started doing, I always use that as a defense. When I first started doing my channel, I was doing mukbangs. But most people didn't know about my situation.
And now we do know. You made sure to let everybody know. And again, it's about pulling strings. What string do you want to pull today? Do you want to pull the string to make the feedies happy and gorge yourself? Do you want to pull the string to be on the defense when people ask you why you're eating 10,000 calories? Do you want to pull on another string where you want to get on camera and do the sad face and the no makeup and get sympathy? Like, what string are you pulling on today, Chantal? You keep flip-flopping back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. And all the while, there's no real fight. You're not fighting against what's wrong. You're leaning into what's wrong and you're making money with it.
And a lot about my life at that time. Now people do. And it's probably hard for them to watch. People, like, all give their different opinions on that. And that's the problem with sharing your life on YouTube. And people, like, overanalyze things. And it's like, I had so many different comments about how I should treat my issues. You need a psychologist. You need inpatient treatment. You need inpatient treatment. You need meds. You need a psychologist. You need a therapist. You need a dietitian. You need to see a doctor. You need to see a diet doctor. And like, it's like driving me crazy. And it's like, okay, so taking everyone's advice, you know, do all these things. And I'm not saying they're bad things to do, but at the same time, it's just like the diet with the doctor felt like a diet, basically. And it feels like punishment, honestly. Biggest problem.
The addiction viewed it as punishment because the addiction wants to be fed. It doesn't want to be starved out. It doesn't want to be driven out. So the addiction, which is in your mind, not your stomach, it's going to argue. It's going to fight. It's going to say, I'm here and I want to stay right here. And I don't want to be evicted out of you, because if I'm evicted out of you, I no longer have control of you. It wants to stay put. And Chantal, as far as people remarking on your issues, who started the ball rolling? Who got that conversation started? You did, because you brought it to YouTube. Had you not talked about it and introduced it to your audience, nobody would have known. Nobody would have had anything to say. You put something on the table, and then you get mad if people come forward and they have their thoughts, feelings, and opinions. And you're just not getting it through your head. Anybody in the world that has even a shred of humanity, if you get in front of a total stranger and you start talking to them and they tell you, man, my foot hurts. It hurts really freaking bad. Like, I don't know what's wrong with it. Or I got this wound, or I got this problem. Any person with even a shred of humanity and a heart, they're going to kind of sort of care for this stranger, because nobody that has a heart wants to see somebody in pain. And they're going to maybe suggest things so that you're not feeling in pain. So you put your pain in front of people on purpose. You want people to feel sorry for you. You want people to know about your issues. And then when your own audience members come forward trying to give suggestions so that you will feel better, you get upset when you were the one who started the conversation in the first place.
With mukbangs, for me, it's not just that's one of the major issues, but another one is, I was thinking, what kind of message am I giving to other people with my channel?
Yeah, what are you? What's the message now? What's the message now? Think about that. What's the message with your channel? I'll tell you the silent message that I get whenever I see your content. The message is clear. You're a food addict. You don't give a doggone about your food addiction. You let it grow completely beyond your control, to the point where if YouTube shut you down, you wouldn't be able to keep up with your food addiction on your own. There's no way that you could buy like $5,000, $6,000 in food and junk to keep up with it. You have to crowdsource and crowdfund out to eat all the time. Hence the reason why you go to the Foodies in the first place, because they'll send you money for food. They'll buy your meals and you get free food out of it. And you think you're smart doing that when you're actually pretty fucking stupid, because those people are promoting you to hurt yourself and be in more pain and be more sick. But in your mind, you justified it. This, I'm fine. Are you? You live in pain every day. You hurt every day. And you brought that upon yourself, and you're not stopping. You let the addiction consume you, and you surrounded yourself with people who promoted that still promote that are still pushing you to eat the fast food. You let it get to that level. You did. You did. Out of greed, out of stupidity, you let it happen. And here we are. You being over 500 pounds and your body is fighting back, and now you're feeling sick. The things you used to do easily, it's a lot more hard, isn't it? It's a lot harder. That's why you're feeling so incredibly sick all the time. And you come, I got a stomach bug. Nah. It's because you're stuffing yourself stupid. Guarantee you that's it. You're having B moments all over the place. And maybe the feedies are contacting you saying, do this, do this, do this. And you're trying to keep up with all the requests and your body just can't. It cannot.
Even explaining this to you is annoying. Even explaining my choices, my decisions are annoying. I shouldn't have to. I feel like by doing the unhealthy mukbangs, eating loads of junk, I'm giving a message that's kind of promoting disordered eating.
You are. You are. When you come on camera and one minute you're talking about your eating issue and you're putting tags on your video, BED, BED recovery, you're putting those tags deliberately on your videos, attracting people to your audience that maybe they're in recovery, maybe they're on their way to recovery. You're attracting people who are looking for recovery, that might be going to counseling, going to therapists. They're trying to get themselves together. And so they're looking for like-minded people also on the journey to help keep them on their journey. You being gluttonous and doing the overeating on camera, you're messing with other people's recovery. It is horrible. It's bad enough that you have an eating problem, but to deliberately trigger people to maybe mess with their recovery just because you want a few more coins in your pocket, it's a slap in the face to people that are struggling with addiction. They want to get on the other side. And you're tricking people to come to your channel and watch you. Like, you're trying to think of all kinds of tags. You're mixing BED recovery, BED, with tags where you're basically signaling the feedies to come see you. You're trying to put all the worlds together, and you just can't do that. That is incorrect, ma'am. That is so incorrect. Grabbing at everybody, trying to grab at everybody to come watch you so you get a few more views. What's the matter with you?
I think she's got it. I think she's got it.
Because that's not normal. It's not healthy, and it is hazardous to the health.
By George, she's got it. By George, she's got it.
So that really kind of bothered me, and I actually had, and you're thinking, duh, again, but I actually hadn't thought about that aspect of it. So that's why I disable comments, because people are so ridiculous in the way that they judge you based on something that has no bearing on your life whatsoever.
Even doing content on YouTube, you are affecting people, and you affect people negatively. I know you don't see it that way because you think, well, if I'm not in front of you physically, it doesn't count. It does count. It really does count. It does count, Chantal.
Like, people commenting, I'm never watching you again. I never even seen you once even comment on my channel. And for me, I feel like that's definitely something that bothers me. And I don't want to be known for that.
And look at you now. You are known for that. Boy, are you known for that.
If you do something that people don't approve of, they're just waiting, you know, like, I'm so disappointed or blah, blah, blah. Like, trying to shame you, basically. And then it just, like, snowballs. And I don't want that type of negativity or mentality on my channel.
So let me get this straight. You don't want negativity on your channel, as you say, in the comments, but yet you'll do negative content and you're expecting praise for that? You're expecting people to back you up on the negative content that you decide to put out, where you're getting on camera, you're doing self-harm content, because what you do is self-harm content. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting your body using food. You are indulging in your food addiction. You think the regular public is going to praise you for that? You're supposed to get applause for that? No, that's not how life works.
Honestly, when it comes to mukbangs, it's the appeal that I can eat what I want and make more money doing it.
Confession. I'm doing this for money.
Seriously, if I'm honest. So, and then those same people will be like, well, don't disable comments. Well, it's just like, what good are the comments, honestly? Just to entertain people who like to be shitty to other people. Like, that's so weird to me, you know? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make healthier recipes and meals.
Yeah, good luck with that. That never worked.
So, you know what? Like, honestly, this
has also been a pattern with Chantal over the years. Like, she'll go crazy with the food, and then when she gets too much heat or she wants to act like she gives a crap about her health, she'll do a few videos or a few lives where she talks about health, and she becomes Dr. Armchair and Dr. Google and talk about pseudoscience health, like spouting facts and stats and all this stuff, acting like she knows it all. And then after a few videos, when she gets bored of doing that, after throwing the subs in her audience a few scraps of hope, she'll take the scraps back and then start doing the mukbangs again.
it's stupid. It's just stupid. So I'm going to keep doing what I want to do. If I want to eat pizza, I'm going to eat pizza. And if I want to disable comments, I'm going to disable comments because I just honestly don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the same thing over and over. I know that eating Popeyes, what it does, it's not the healthiest thing. I know that. I don't need you to tell me. Try to do the doctor's plan because I still have my appointment next week on Monday. 1 week from now, there's still time to get back on it. And I don't need you to call me an idiot for eating chicken fingers or just like, I don't know. And people unsubscribing, I expected that. Obviously, people who, whenever I started doing weight loss videos, people who were subscribing to me, I gained a lot of subscribers for that. And then obviously those people are disgusted and appalled. They're going to leave. And
this was kind of a moment, a sliding door kind of moment, where long ago Chantal could have taken the other door. In the beginning part of her channel, during her baby channel days, she could have taken the other door. She could have stayed away from the mukbangs and decided, this is not what I want to do. This is not good for me, and gone the other way. She could have taken care of her health. She could have done weight loss content or maintaining health content, gotten herself together and built a completely different audience based on completely different content. But she didn't go that way. She went the other self-harm content way.
subscribe, that's fine. Turn it around. I don't want to cry on camera and try to get sympathy. I'm just honestly just going through so much right now. And I don't even know what to do. I just feel like inside I'm screaming for help, and I just feel like like whatever.
So if you feel like you're screaming for help, why didn't you ask for help? Why, after all these years, have you not reached out for help and accepted the help? Why didn't you have that moment where you're like, I can't go on anymore? I can't do this. The only thing that's stopping you is you.
And then like people, I don't know, a lot of people have so much time on their hands. They check Social Blade and they I don't know, make accounts just to comment again and again and again. It's really weird. But anyways, so it is what it is. I mean, human nature is not going to change. So, like, if I want to do something, then I'm going to do it. So, I know my loyal subscribers, even if it's only 5,000 of you, I know you'll watch me anyways. You like my story times, you like my videos.
About that, do you know why people liked Foodie in the first place? I mean, watching this content now from 5 years ago, doesn't she seem different? I mean, she was problematic then, but not nowhere near that she is now. She seems somewhat human, you know? Like she's talking with a little bit of sense, not a whole lot, but still, like she's coming off as being normal. I'm a person. I got these problems. I got these issues, but she's sounding like a normal person. She doesn't sound that way anymore. This was the Foodie that people got into. This is the Foodie that people liked. And it disappeared. This was still Chantal Marie. This person is gone, has been gone for years. And when she decided to put on the costume of Foodie Beauty full time, this person ceased to exist. There is no more Chantal Marie. She's given herself completely over to the character of Foodie Beauty. And Foodie Beauty caters to the feedies, caters to the food fetish, caters to the food addiction. Just putting herself on a hamster wheel where she's getting bigger and bigger, more and more unhealthy. She's out of control. And at this point in time, and I've been saying this for a long time, given her addiction, given the level of her addiction, the only thing that could help her is inpatient, locked down, strict inpatient, where she can't leave, she can't have food delivered, she can't have somebody coming in and giving her food. Her meals are monitored. Like she has to listen to others because she can't control herself. And Chantal will never go to inpatient. And she will never listen to other people. And she will never restrict herself. She let things get to that level.
Your Honor, I object.
You would!
Overactor.
Shut up!
In the ghetto, on the cold and gray Chicago moon, another little baby child is born in the ghetto. In the ghetto.
And quite frankly, that's honestly all I care about. Like I said, it's not about the views because I don't get that many views.
Lies. Lies. When she started making money with the mukbangs, that's all she did. And here's the surprising fact that some of you may not know about Miss Chantal. Did you know? You're like fun trivia when it comes to Foodie, fun trivia. Did you know in the beginning baby days of her channel, like she was doing all kinds of different content. She was doing all kinds of stuff, life vlogs. Believe it or not, she was doing video game playthroughs, makeup looks, makeup hauls, shopping hauls. There was a lot more variety in the baby days of her channel than in the later stages of her channel. Once she got monetized, she focused almost entirely on the food content because she saw that's where the views were. She wanted to make money, so she focused on the content that got the most views. But before monetization, she was trying all kinds of different things to see what the public would respond to. And unfortunately for her, they responded the most to the food content. So that basically was a driving point of her channel.
They expect the weight loss journey to be perfect because the rate at which the thumbs up goes to thumbs down is ridiculous. So, and that's YouTube, but I just want to do my videos and have people enjoy my content, watch it. So tomorrow I think I'm going to call the
Notice what she just said. That was important. What was missing? There was something missing in the statement that she just made. Anybody spot it? Did anybody catch it? Let me help you if you didn't catch it. What she said is that she was making content that people could enjoy. The part that was missing was she's the content creator. It's her channel. She could do whatever she wants. What about content that you enjoy, Chantal? That you enjoy? Shouldn't it be about your enjoyment before anybody else's? But no, you're all about what people are enjoying, what people are responding to, what people are watching. It's all about other people. What about what you want? Unfortunately, what you want is bad for you, but you're not thinking about, like, I want to make my channel on me, my interest, my hobbies, myself. Make a channel where you can make content and you could stand behind it 100% and say, this is me. I wouldn't change a thing. I stand behind what I did, and I'm not sorry or regretful for any of it. And not because, the money aspect. No. That should not be a determining factor. What makes a channel successful is if you do something you love to do, you're passionate about, it's you're putting out there, and you can stand strongly behind it. You don't do that. You make content to cater to fetishes.
The weight loss doctor guy, and see if he can forward a prescription for like Vyvanse or Topamax. I don't know. Like, when I started, I don't remember hate watching being that big of a thing. And then I started watching Amber Lynn shortly after I started YouTube.
That's an important fact. That she started watching Amber Lynn right when she made a channel, and she started to model herself after Amber. That was an important little piece right there. She modeled herself after what Amber Lynn was doing. Chantal has always been known as a follower. She borrows off of people. She sees what somebody else is doing. If they're successful, it's like, I want to do what they're doing too, because I want that level of success. So I'm going to copy somebody else's blueprint when doing a channel. I'm going to do the same kind of content too.
And I started watching her earlier videos, and I was like, I liked her videos. I thought, like, I wasn't reading, the comments weren't that bad back then, so I was just like watching her videos, and she was just vlogging her life, and I was like, oh, another big girl, I can relate to that. And then just things like started getting so bad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the hate watching. I didn't get, like, why are people watching this person every single video and complaining over and over that she frustrates the hell out of them, but they keep watching her.
And then a light bulb went off in your head where you're like, that's it. That's a secret to success. Not just doing content, but get people to hate watch you and not like you. And you leaned all the way into that, Chantal. Oh, did you? You especially did it during Crackhead Olympics. You wanted to be the most despised, evil, vile, talked about monster on YouTube. So you did everything you could think of, whether it was running around half naked on camera, being vile, being gross, whatever it took. You wanted those hate watchers, and you made literally thousands of dollars in hate super chats. You would do a video. You had a formula. You would do a video that was just controversial, gross, whatever. And then you would go live right behind that and say awful things and be hateful, knowing it was going to tick people off. You wanted that. You wanted people to hate watch you, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if somebody's hate watching you or watching you because they like you. Views are views. Money is money. And even if somebody's sending you a hate super chat, it's still money in the bank. You still got somebody's money. You made thousands of dollars doing that. And I'm happy to say things have changed. People have wised up, and they're not paying you based on hate. People got smart. I'm happy to see that.
I'm going to call my GP and see if he can urgently get me in somewhere to help with my eating disorder, because until I do that, I just feel like my depression, my mental state is just not going to improve. And like, what do you want from her, you know? I know these things are very personal. I probably shouldn't be sharing that stuff, but in the end, I mean, sorry, I'm gonna pick my nose. I don't care. Like, my sanity is more important than that. You know, the right people will still watch me, and that's all I care about. You can unsubscribe to prove a point if you want. You know, like, people think it's funny. Like, it's so funny to see people fail. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so weird. And honestly,
Just a note, if you have to use the word honestly so much, it usually means that you're anything but honest. Yeah, rule number 1, Chantal lies.
you think I have no life, but I don't have time to watch people I don't like. I know that for sure. Yeah, I mean, I didn't do anything.
Okay, I gotta point this out. Chantal's been on YouTube for 8 years. 8, almost a decade. Like, even when she was with BB, she wasn't working. It's been so many years since she's had a regular job, like something taken up, like, say, 8 hours of her day. She's had nothing but time. And I'm having a problem feeling sorry for her. In fact, I don't feel sorry for her at all. It's not like she's had pressing responsibilities that took up her time. 8 years of complete freedom to do what she wants, to go where she likes, whenever she likes, whatever time of the day or night she likes, making money on YouTube more than most normal people make money. She could have gotten all kinds of resources. She could have gotten all kinds of help. During Crackhead Olympics, she was making ridiculous amounts of money. Making so much money, 20 grand, 30 grand a month. There was no excuse for the way she was living other than pure laziness and gluttonous. The money she was making, she could have hired maids to clean the house. She could have hired other people to take care of the pets, run errands for her, brought her healthy meals, gone to therapy, done a lot of things. She didn't do it. Life gave her a cup of fortune, and she took the cup and she turned it over and got rid of it. She just wasted it. Absolutely wasted it.
Anything wrong. I ate Popeyes. You know? So it's just like the amount of hate over eating some chicken. Please analyze that to yourself.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and bright.
And, you know, it's like, back to square one. Again. Yeah, so anyway, I guess that's it. I mean, I just wanted to bitch about that. It's getting dark. I just wanted to bitch about that because, you know, and kind of explain, I guess, and just vent my feelings about the whole thing because it's such a controversy. Why do I change my mind so much? Because I'm not well. I'm obviously not well.
By the way, Chantal, using YouTube and using your YouTube audience as your therapist, it's been years. Obviously, this ain't it. Using strangers on the internet in place of real therapy, real doctors. no improvement has happened. You want to vent at people. You want them to watch you. You want to be able to unload on people. But there's no real help. There's no improvement. There's nothing. And I do think it's a bit unkind and unfair that you're doing that to your audience. You unload on them and you're not taking into account the people that are watching you in a live or a video. Like, they may have things going on in their life much more severe than you, but you feel entitled to unload on your audience and dump all your trash on their doorstep like it's their problem, when you've got the power to fix your problems.
I think she's got it. I think she's got it.
You know, people have a right to do what they want with their life, and you know, especially if it's not that serious, it's not affecting you. That's why I'm like, weight loss journey is bullshit, and I'm not doing it anymore. So take that as you want. But anyway, if I have a bad attitude about it, I'm allowed to vent my frustrations. So, you know, you can come on my channel and leave all your hateful comments, but I'm allowed to vent my frustrations as well. I know a lot of you want me to enable comments, but just for now, please.
So basically what she's saying, without saying it, is I want the power to vent my trash onto you. I want you to listen. I want you to be concerned for me. I'm going to dump my problems on you guys, you subscribers, you viewers. Like, I'm just going to dump all my stuff in front of you. But I'm going to turn off the comments. And if you're in a live chat, I'm going to shut you down because it's all about me. Like, the only person allowed to dump their personal stuff on people is me. It's my channel, my rules, and that's just the rules I made up because I can. It's a one-way street. Chantal can come to you guys on her channel and vent and vent and vent and dump and vent some more and dump some more and keep doing that over and over and over again. But don't you dare mention your problems. You're just there to give her money, give her views, which gives her money, and listen. But you're not allowed to comment. You're not allowed to give advice. You're not allowed to help her. She doesn't want help. She doesn't want help. She just wants to come online and woe is me and everything's wrong with me and here are my problems and use them as talking points and make money with the problems. She is not interested in solving them. And I've known someone like Chantal in my life. I was involved with somebody like her, and it took me years to figure out, because it was just so out of my way of thinking. It took me years to figure out with that person that as much as they were coming to me with their problems, with their drama, with their freaking chaos, took me years to figure out that all they were coming at me with the attitude of, I'm in pain and I'm looking for relief. I'm looking for advice. I'm looking for a way to solve this. They really didn't want to solve it, because all of the good advice that I gave this person, they never did anything with it, or they never tried to find a solution on their own either. It took me years to figure out that they were comfortable surrounded by all their problems, that the problems became like a warm security blanket that they wrapped around themselves and they didn't want to let go of. Like, I just couldn't fathom, if somebody's in pain, don't they want to stop it? Don't they want to let go of it? You would think so. Most people who are in pain, pain is not a nice thing. It hurts. So who would want to wrap themselves in pain and stay with it and keep it near them? Well, some people do. And Chantal is one such person, because pain, suffering, food, these are part of her identity. If she doesn't have those things, What does she have to talk about? What does she have to get attention? Not freaking much.
I just need you to understand. I'm just really, yeah. So that's that. That's the last time I'm explaining anything, and I'm definitely keeping comments disabled for now. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do, guys. And those of you who are my loyal viewers, and I know you're still watching, I really appreciate it. Yeah, like checking some of the comments, like, you're a failure, what the hell is wrong with you people? It's so ridiculous. Honestly, it really is. Like, do you treat people like that in real life? That's really sad. You can take your comments and shove it. Seriously, I'm not for that type of bullshit on YouTube. Seriously, like, anyways, it's just ridiculous. Like, I can't believe it. Seriously. Like, that condones insults and bullying. How exactly? I think you guys are the one with the problem, not me. Like, this is just sad.
This is manipulation, and this is something that Chantal over the years has done quite frequently. She'll purposely do things, say things to make people angry. She wants that response. She wants people to get mad. She wants people to get all up in arms. And then when she gets that response, she'll turn it around like, are you crazy? What's wrong with you? Like, something's wrong with you. She'll turn it around. She'll backflip it. Like, you're the one that's nuts, not me. Like, this is the game that she plays with people.
Seriously. So anyways, I'm going to disable comments, do my videos, and continue doing what I want. You can watch or not. I don't really care.
And that's another game she played with YouTube, with her audience, with the viewers. I'm going to make some outrageous video or live. And knowing that people are going to be mad, I'm going to disable the comments so they can't say anything to me. And I'm going to get them really mad doing it. And I'm doing it on purpose because after said video where the comments are disabled, I don't want, it's a game. The disabling comments thing, can I just clue you guys into something? She disables the comments on purpose because what she's aiming for, by shutting people down in the comments, she doesn't want people to say what they want to say for free. No, she's going to disable the comments and then go do a live directly after because she wants people to make those comments and those comments be paired with super chats. She wants you to pay to be angry at her. She's not going to let you vent your anger for free. That's just not doable in her world.
So, thanks, guys.
No boo-boo.
Oh, here we go.
Doctor's plan. And mukbang those. Or like cookbang or whatever. And yeah. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you.
Okay, so that's pretty much the end of the video. We'll cut it off here. And again, this is courtesy of the channel KUMI KOTARA. And I'll leave the link for both What's Happening's video and KUMI KOTARA's video in the description. You guys can check out the content on both channels. But I just kind of want to do a look back at Chantal and this whole crazy 8 circle thing that she's been doing with her health and her problem with food and the way she's talking to people and her attitude, so that those who are on Chantal's channel, the Beezers, the subscribers, you guys can see clearly this is something that's been going on for a long time. And how she sounded then is how she sounds now, only 10 times worse. But this footage back here is like 5 years old. This was back when she was still talking and acting like a semi-normal person. But beyond that, nothing has changed. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this retro react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. I'm going to go ahead and just stop this here and post this to YouTube. So I hope everybody has a good day. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.